Hey everybody, welcome back to another day on the old Pulsechain train. We're going to get into all of that, of course, crypto and Pulsechain updates. We're going to cover the stock market continuing to break records, and we're still waiting for that big Bitcoin bull run, of course, and I think it's getting very close. It just seems to be winding up historically and empirically. It looks like we must be getting pretty close to it, and of course, what the ramifications is for Pulsechain as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, a lot of FUD out there and all sorts of stuff like that. It seems like the perfect time for the market to keep FUDding people until they just can't handle anymore. And then boom, out we go. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, we've got PulseMafia, of course, is going to be really fun too during the bull market. And it's only been on a couple of days. I think we're wrapping up day 4 now. If I remember right, they're going to double check on the chart. But I think it's about day 4. And already doing absolutely spectacular. So we're going to get into those results as well as BNB Mafia. PulseMafia or Mafia is on both Pulsechain and BNB. So we're going to be covering that. And that's one of pretty much our best GameFi dev, Jacob. Just incredible and peer-to-peer technology, the leader in the world for that. So really excited about where Mafia will go. Having fun and earning crypto sounds pretty good. So we're going to enjoy it. And obviously we're co-hosting the Syndicate, the #1 family at the moment on both BNB and Pulsechain. And of course, that's with Archie, the Godfather. He is the most feared. Even we fear him as well. We fear him. We're in the family and we fear him. So I can understand other teams fearing him as well. So no surprises there. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Let's cover all the stuff, but let's say hello to a few people. Lies Beneath not in today. I see that, so I won't be able to read out all the updates from Lies Beneath. Probably taking a day off, maybe. We've got Brendan in the house there. Howdy, family and fam. Good to see you, Brendan. Brendan's also a capo in the syndicate, so big shout out to you, Brendan. We've got Solid in the house there. Hey all, good to see you, Solid. Hope you're doing well. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat as well. Now, if you're watching the show, of course, get in there, get into the chat, say hello. We like a vibrant chat. And if you're new to the channel, if you're on Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto or Pulsechain X, we're streaming to 3 channels, over 10,500 subscribers. Then do subscribe and share the channels around. If you'd like people to hear about general crypto, stock market, and of course Pulsechain, the daily update virtually, then definitely share the channel around. And if you'd like people to get play some cool games like Mafia or PulseMafia as it is on Pulsechain, then get them into it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've pretty much been here for years now, haven't we? Years. And one of the few YouTubers that was consistently streaming through the bear market as well. So we've been here virtually every day, take a couple of days off here and there. But, man, it's been a big journey. And, of course, big believers in Richard Hart's, Pulsechain and, of course, Hex and things like that. So looking good there. All right, let's get into it. We got Brennan says, what does the fear and greed index look like? Hey, that's funny. I should probably bring that up, actually. Depends which one you're looking at. There are a couple of those, but maybe we can talk about that in Discord, Brennan, and pull that up as well. Brennan says, Hex, Pulse Hex, and Pulse Hex for the win, 100%. I'm sure Lies Beneath appreciates your post there, Brennan, as well. All right, let's get into the results for today. This will be Monday, of course, the beginning of the week in the US. For the stock market, and let's see how we go. Bam. S&P 500 in record high as tech stocks continue to flex the old muscles there. And of course, if you've been working out in the gym, you know what muscles are all about. We've got the Dow Jones there at the moment is up 0.5%. I mean, some really decent moves on the stock market. I mean, remember, the stock market's not crypto market, of course, which is where all the mad money is made. But 189 points, increase in the Dow Jones, incredible, up at 38,778. Now, remember, the Dow Jones is full of the top 30 industrials, and that's what makes up the Dow Jones there. Bit of a bellwether for the U.S. economy to some degree. We've got the S&P 500, though, making new records, up 0.77%, 42 points almost to 5,473. We look at the max on the chart there. We can see, look at that chart, looking so good. And so, really amazing at the top, break record highs there. We're at the NASDAQ up as well, almost 1%, 166 points to 17,855. Some crazy stuff happening on the stock market there as well. US dollar down a bit versus trading partners, 104.87 on the index. Let's go to commodities quickly, have a quick look at that. Actually, it's not showing up. Sometimes it doesn't do that. It doesn't show up sometimes. Let's get into some of the news about the economic data. Federal speakers expressed caution on rate cuts. The Philadelphia Fed President Patrick Harker said Monday he expects only one rate cut if the economy progresses as expected, as the current level of rates will likely push inflation lower and prevent upside inflation risk. And if all of it happens to be as forecasted, I think one rate cut would be appropriate by the year's end, says Harker, though added that 2 cuts or no cuts were also a possibility there. So it's kind of the midpoint. I see 2 cuts or none for this year is quite possible if the data break one way or the other. And of course, the remarks come ahead of a day ahead of retail sales for May, with many keen to assess whether the consumer continues to show strength. Now, remember, in the US, about 2/3 to 70% of the economy is consumption. It is the world's big consumer in the United States. So anything related to consumption and demand, and therefore pressure on products and prices and inflation, is a pretty interesting to the market. So yeah, we'll see how strong the consumer is there. There are going to be several Fed officials due to speak this week, including New York Fed President John Williams, Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkara, San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly, and Richmond Fed President Thomas Barker. Now, I think I can't remember the exact number. There's something between 20 and 30, somewhere between 20 and 30 Fed presidents. I have 28 in my head, or 21. I'm not sure which one it is, but there's quite a few in the Fed presidents there. I probably should go back and double check that number, but that is where we are at the moment. All right, so that's the economic news and stock markets are record highs, folks. Bodes well for crypto, doesn't it? Leading into the end of the year and the election, US election is the big milestone on the horizon here. We've got the the UK election coming up. I think that's also around about the 5th or the 7th. I can't remember which day that is as well. And that's coming up as well, early July, let's say. Reform for the win, eh? Reform for the win. Otherwise, everything else is madness over there. The Labour's going to basically, they're talking about being Labour getting there, but Labour will absolutely accelerate the destruction of Britain. It's the Tories have been bad, but Labour will just be dreadful. And so they also betray the people further with the Brexit, betraying Brexit, trying to get back in the EU and all sorts of crazy stuff. So hopefully the reform will gain its ascendancy, become the opposition party. Does look good at the moment for that, and the momentum's definitely good for that too. So if we want freedom, prosperity, and safety, and of course keeping a sense of identity, I think it's going to be pretty important for the reform and Nigel Farage to win there. So if you're in the UK, definitely consider that, and look at their policy statement out today. Probably pretty important as well. All right, let's get into the rest of it. We're going to go to Bitcoin. Actually, I haven't even got the overall market up there, so let's pull that up too. Let's pull up the stock market, the crypto market there. So it's red at the moment, but it's not as bad as it looks. I mean, it's red today, but I mean, Bitcoin's still holding at 66,720. It's down only a 0.35% there, so just a 0.33%. The Bitcoin dominance has gone up since yesterday. It was sitting at about 53%. It's now 53.47, or 53.5%. So that's a bit better for Bitcoin. Obviously, we're waiting for a real strong out season at some stage, but we also want Bitcoin to break higher as well. Now, Ethereum at the moment is at 3,500, down 3% after yesterday's little surprise lift, particularly happening on a Sunday, right? Which is normally a bit of a quiet day generally. So we saw some action there. But BNB is down 1.1%. Remember, it was only a week or two ago that BNB was up at $725. So that's a bit softening there for BNB. Solana down 5%. That's a big move down. And everything else is pretty much down at the moment. Even the meme coins are all down. Look, all the meme coins are down over 5%. Look at that. Dodge, SHIB, Pepe, Floki, they're all down over 5%. Even Uni, which was doing pretty well, is down 10% as well, $10.62. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. But Bitcoin holding strong, not too bad. So let's zoom in on Bitcoin a bit more. In fact, did I lose my... Oh, you can't even see it. I just realized that you can't even see what I'm talking about here because it's on a different screen. That's not helpful. That is not helpful. Let's pull that up here so you can see what I'm talking about. That suddenly it went out into a new window. So there we go. Bitcoin there. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty much flat. And of course, as you just saw, Ether's down, BNB's down, Solana's down a lot, etc. And the main coins are all down. And so is Uni there. So that is across the board. Let's jump over to Bitcoin, which you all could already see the screen of. Now, the 50-day moving average is currently at 66,000 $889. The 200-day moving average is at 57,616 for Bitcoin. And you can see we're pretty much battling around this 50-day moving average, which is very bullish, especially given that the halving was back here. Halving was back here on the 20th of April. And what was that block? Was the block 840,000? I think it was, something like that. And yeah, 59 days ago. So 2 months pretty much is coming up. And we know that typically in previous halvings, 2 or 3 months was pretty much game on after that. So I think we're getting pretty close, certainly winding up there for maybe late June or something. And we know that we might July and August typically are pretty good months for being bullish. September is typically the big month where we get a negative result. And then, of course, October, November, December, we could have really, really fly. So hopefully we're winding up for that big push up higher. It's going to be fun to see that. I might bring that Bitcoin chart back again with the returns as well. So that's kind of the way we're ticking at the moment on the old Bitcoin. And let's have a look at the runes. Of course, this is going to be first meme season on Bitcoin. So you cannot miss this trend. This is going to be an ultimate trend. You can miss it, of course, but you'll miss all the upside as well. And, of course, the crazy price appreciation. But at the moment, we've got Runes Protocol. And, of course, that launched at the Bitcoin halving 59 days ago. And, man, it is really starting to take some footing. Centralized exchanges are trying to get the protocol embedded in their systems. We're waiting for a ton of tier ones to start listing runes, and of course we've seen them launch. They, seen some of them issue BRC20s last year, and of course, like Audi token did extremely well. But now we have 2.0, and of course the first bull market in play. So game on. And at the moment we've got some leaders here. We've got Dog Go to the Moon. That's the one we're backing for the win. We expect that really to try and attack Dodge. That means a massive upside. I mean, and it potentially could be the first 100 billion as well. Once it makes 1 billion, it could rally to 100 billion through the top of the bull market as well. Definitely there once we get the tier ones, and of course take over Dodge as well. So looking forward to that and play. I think it's got all the right components for that. So Dog Go to the Moon there, and it's also etched number 3 there, or rune number 3. Bank of Nakamoto dollar is up a little bit there. So Dog might be down 8%, but Bank of Nakamoto dollar up 4%. Ryzik down 18%. Pups down 19%. $1 billion cat coming out of almost nowhere, and it is a high etch as well. 72,000. That's up 70% at the moment. 100 sats. Market cap at 67 million. Epic is up a little bit there, 3%. Lobo the Woolpuck, one of my favorite calls as well, is down 14% at the moment, number 8. And of course, Decentralized, a big Ethereum team there at number 9. And finally, the personality of the Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, at number 10. Those are the top 10 at the moment. So yeah, that is pretty much it. We've also got NFT collections. I'm not going to go through all those today, but you can see the top 10 right there, from Bitcoin Puppets all the way down through to Ryzik Metaprol there. Those are the NFTs on Bitcoin. This is the first time ever, and so we're expecting that to be a mega theme. It's going to be awesome. So that is the play there. Let's jump over to Ethereum. So that DEX, by the way, was Magic Eden, of course, the number 1 DEX for runes and things like that. Now, trading view at the moment for Ethereum. Let's have a look at the price. So we have got the 50-day moving average at $3,505. The 200-day moving average at $3,030. We've currently, yesterday, we had that couple of days of rise in Ethereum, look, and then we've just come back yesterday. We were at 3,640, finished the day at 3,509, which is currently where we are. We're sitting right on that 50-day moving average at the moment, which is kind of hilarious. And we are waiting for Ethereum approvals, right? So we had Ethereum the first part of approvals on the 23rd of May. And we've been quite a few weeks because the SEC was mucking around with that. And then, of course, we had Gary Gensler just the other day say, yeah, they're going to get approved by the end of summer. And so we're expecting the 2nd of July to be the approvals. And that was based on Bloomberg analysts, right? So we're expecting that by the 2nd of July, we could have ETH start trading. So I think we're ticking very close, folks. We know the Bitcoin halving 59 days away. We know that typically takes off like 2-3 months after. And I think we're getting pretty close. So yeah, Ethereum ETS might be that catalyst for the final ignition for the big bull rally. And all you have to do is one thing: you make sure you're in the better assets, and you need to be able to sell the top, right? Don't write it down the other side. So there we go. That is the hot tip of the day. And of course, Ethereum ETF expected to launch on the 2nd of July there. that's going to really fuel the fire. We see the stock market rallying, and we know this is all going to happen. It's going to be hot, hot, hot. Like I say, maybe only September is typically a pullback month there, so we will see how we go. But I'm feeling very bullish for the next 6 months as well, especially if we get an interest rate pivot in September or in November. Yeah, game on, right? So everything's lining up pretty well. Be cool to see the continued political movement around the world as well. We see Europe moving to the center right. That's great. Freedom, liberty, prosperity, protection, safety, common sense, all those sort of things coming into play as people are starting to rally against the crazy, insane progressive policies that are, doing things, terrible things to the world, particularly to the West as well. And so, yeah, excited about where they might head, especially if we get some good results in the United States, which is the most important one of them all. So that's kind of the play there at the moment. So, yeah, looking pretty good. Let's jump over to Pulsechain. We're going to get into that. Before we do that, let's welcome a few other people into the chat. We've got Wookie in the house there. Fast as, bro. Wookie is pretty fast on the skateboard. And, of course, we've got Hex for the win at some point, says Wookie. I like that. We are one day closer, says Wookie. We've got Archie, the Don of the Syndicate in the house. A big shout out to Archie. And, of course, we got Eddie as well. We are getting closer to the Hex, Pulse Hex, incentive win to the moon, says Eddie. I like how you're thinking. I agree with you 100%. And everybody, I got to say something. We got Sandy Beach in the house. Woo! Hey, Hex Token, everybody. I'll be on holiday starting soon. I'll check in here and there. I'll post pictures in the Discord. We appreciate that, Sandy. Looking forward to your pictures on your travels there. And, yeah, lit. It is going to be completely lit there. All right, let's get back into it. Pulsechain. Let's see how we're going. And, of course, here we are on day 402. Now, this is the end of day 402. We're about to start day 403. And we've got the price for day 402 at quadruple 0465 and down 2.2%. We seem to have this a lot lately, just down a few percentage points. We're sitting at 47% of the mean sacrifice price. What a bargain at the moment. And, of course, to pick up 32 million Pulse to become a solo validator is a dream right now. A very smart move if you want that sort of conservative passive income. And that's a good play. We've got PulseX at the moment as well, quadruple 0196, down 3.2%. That's at 19.6%, of course, of the mean sacrifice price. Massive potential upside to the mean sacrifice price. And, of course, we've already hit there once before, right, when we had that big $15 million magic carpet ride buy a couple of months ago now. Now, the buy and burn continues to rise. 896.8 billion PulseX has been bought up and burned. That's 4.43% of the public supply. And, of course, we have had relatively low volumes with low prices, low sentiment. We've had low volumes, but it is burning still every day. Just burning more PulseX regardless of the low volumes, which have been, between 7.7 million we had yesterday, which is particularly low. Typically, 10 million might be the bottom of that range, but 7.7 million was pretty low yesterday. So are we finding that bottom in Pulsechain? Waited just about to turn around. That's the question. Now, incentive token at the moment is $2.39, down 4.23%. We've got the ratio at the moment, 51,500 Pulse. This is the thing that's been impressing me a lot, and is actually one of my bullish signals at the moment, is this incentive token here, 51,500. That is holding up very nicely, and then we'll see that in the chart when we get to it. The amount of tokens in existence, 34.6 million incentive tokens. And, of course, that's another part of it. It's a relatively low, even though it's being emitted from the PulseX V1 farms, relatively low number of tokens, compared to these other chains, PulseX and things with trillions. We've only got, millions in there. So hence the price as well, $2.39 there, I guess. We got Hex, of course, which is the bargain of the century. Hex on Pulsechain at the moment is down 3.86 cents. And we're sitting at 5,500th of a penny. Wow. We're going to look at that on the chart because I think we're at around record lows here. So we've got the EHEX at the moment at 1,300th of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PHEX is at 6,800th of a penny there. So what a bargain. I think that's pretty much down where the all-time lows are. So what an opportunity right now to pick up Hex. Let's jump over to the charts here. We're going to look at the weekly charts here. And we can see the weekly. Let's go full mode here. We can see that we've got a few things going on here. So we had this uptrend on the week. These are weekly candles. We had an uptrend here, orange. That we broke through that. So down we went. And, of course, we've come back right down to around this resistance that we had in October last year. Look at that. And, of course, that's where we are right now, testing it to the teeth. We are right on it right now. And of course, the low is 4,580 on Pulse. Now, the all-time low here, as you can see in this chart, obviously ignoring the first week there, was back here in August. And of course, we had back here, this red candle is, of course, the SEC event, right, at the end of July. And of course, we got down pretty low, but we even got slightly lower than that. We got down to 3,300 with 4 zeros. So we are above that. We've still got a higher low, just like we did in December. We've still got a higher low here. But man, is it testing it? And look at the RSI all the way down at 33 on the weekly. So yeah, interesting stuff there. Is this the bottom? Obviously, it can go lower because the RSI goes lower before it gets into the oversold territory over 30. But it's certainly very, very low at the moment. And so are we going to bounce from this point? That's the big question we're waiting for. The daily, of course, the RSI is 36 on the daily, so pretty similar. And of course, are we going to be testing? We've already come back here and tested on the 1st of June, right? We're back where we started there after our little rally, 2 little rallies, and down we go. So is the bottom in? That's the big question. We got to be getting pretty close. The market's suggesting that we're about to, take off in the next few weeks. So let's see where Pulsechain follows that up as well. At the moment, that is it. Now we can already see the sentiment around the place is pretty exhausted. So maybe we might get there, or we're going to find out. It's very, very important crossroads right where we are now. Most important crossroads. You can see the resistance here back in October. We really is the place we will bounce. That's the question. So let's see how we go. PulseX and incentive tokens still pretty well, but however, you can see here PulseX has finally broken the support line as well. So down we go here, and of course we're testing the next price range is 17 to 1800. We're currently at 1960 at the moment, so 1700 is the next sort of comfort zone. You can see that back here in December on the horizontal. So we have broken this angular support here, and so that's a goodbye beauty. There we go. So that's gone, and yeah, here we are. We've got now on the horizontal support, right? So that's what we're going to look out for. Let's go to the daily here as well. You can see that back in December, the beginning of June there, we're pretty similar here, but we are down here at the moment at the low of 1912. So there we go on that one. And what's the next place that I said? Yeah, 17,800 is kind of the next mark there. We don't really want to break that because then we're getting down into the 1600s, and then of course down to 1360 again. And we've been there many times, right? Resistance back here in September and support back here in January. We don't really want to go down that far. And maybe we're kind of at Pulsechain can hold on. Maybe we're going to hold on here too and get that turn. Now, we haven't got a turn on the indicators, so question mark at the moment. But in any case, it is still extremely good buying right now to pick up any of these because they're all at those particular support levels. Let's go to incentive token at the moment. We can see that this is holding up real strong, and certainly another bullish metric for me, sitting at 51,500. And of course, if we break this, if we get a bit of a turnaround in Pulse and PulseX, PulseX has still got a higher low, right? Quite a strong higher low. So if we do get that game on here for the incentive token, and we could see a big rally. When we do see a rally, this price is going to go up pretty fast. So $10, $20, definitely in the ballpark there if we get that turnaround. That is Hex at the moment. Hex got to be the biggest bargain of them all. Look at this, all the way down at 55/100th of a penny. The last time we were back here was in August. There's the weekly candles as well. August, we got down to 54.95. Here we are today. We got to 53.82. So we have got a new low here, ignoring the first week, right? We have got a new low here in the play, and it's only just lower. But man, is this going to be the bottom again? Is that going to signal that we're at the bottom, despite the fact that we're just slightly lower? We got the RSI is pretty low as well at 36, and of course back here we were all the way down in oversold territory, so don't have as much comfort. But if we can get that Pulsechain turning around, that's going to be pretty bullish for Hex as well. And the amount of Hex you can get right now is very, very friendly, obviously, at these prices. Turns around pretty quickly, of course. So once it goes back up, you get way less volumes. It happens very, very fast. On the daily, we get down there. We're down at 33. We're not in that fully oversold territory, but we have bounced off this level before. Bounced on in the 2nd of June. Similarly, bounced to pretty much around April. We bounced pretty similar levels. So are we just about there for a turnaround? Question mark. The market's going to tell us now. And of course, EHEX there as well got down to, on the weekly, what did they get down to? 12.72. We're at 13 to 27 at the moment on the old EHEX there. Combined price EHEX and PX. Let's go look on investx.io and check some of this out. Don't forget to get into the chat there and get lively, folks. Let us know in the chat what you've been looking at on Pulsechain lately, what you think is a good pickup at the moment, given the fact that we're trying to test the bottom and very sticky. We're in a very sticky zone at the moment. So whether we break it, that would be a big deal. If we can hold it, that would make a lot of sense. So we're going to see where we end up here. Combined price EHEX and PX on the daily here on investx.io is currently 0.68 of a penny. Look at this chart. That's crazy good value right now. Let's go all the way back here. Actually, not that far back. So yeah, we've got such a good place to pick up at the moment. You can see in the chart. So we even broke down past 1 cent, right? 1 cent was up here. We broke down there, and now we're getting a big deal here at 6,800 pennies. So massive amount of hex you can pick up at this price. Once, of course, the opposite of where we are at the moment, testing the bottoms and getting all that massive volume, is the breakout upside, which is 3 cents. Once we break that, it's going to be a lot of money to be made there, especially if you're buying down here. So we're watching out for that too. Once we get that turnaround, that big pivot. We know that, when you're on the way down, it's pretty gruesome. When you're on the way up, it's pretty glorious. And of course, eventually it finds a bottom. And of course, when the market starts rallying, that's what we're looking for, that magic cut ride to the upside. All right, that is pretty much it for a day 402. We're just at day 403. Let's quickly check the values really quickly and see how they're going. And we've got 48,739 validators, 1.56 trillion off the market. That's pretty normal. In fact, let's have a look at the gas prices too. 220,000 beats are really cheap on Pulsechain to do stuff. 4/10 of a penny for a PulseX swap, 200th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, and of course 700th of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. So cheap. Ethereum at the moment is only 5 Gwei. When things turn around on Ethereum, when it gets really busy, this Gwei is going to disappear, right? This 5 Gwei, especially with that with the ETF going to get its final approval coming up in July. So 2nd of July I think it was. So 700 times cheaper at the moment. Watch things turn around. They turn around real fast. You guys know it. These low gas prices at the moment can turn around pretty fast. And before you know it, you're paying $100 for a swap on PulseX. On Uniswap. But you'll still be paying pretty cheap on Pulsechain, even with more volume. Just remember that. Don't get surprised when that starts happening. And the bridge, the big health check, 103.7. So we really are at the low end of the volume at the moment. And Hex is dragging that down too, right? EHEX there because EHEX is down much lower. We're sitting pretty similar numbers there with the PDI and the ETH is down just a little bit there too with that 3.5% pullback. We're definitely on the bottom, pushing the bottom of the range actually at the moment. Typically around about 104, 105. We're at 103.7 now. So there we go. That is the result. So let's jump over to some of the other stuff here. We're going to look at the derivatives and see what's happening there. Well, we do have something green today. Yay! And it's on Pulsechain, and that's Hedron. It's up 2.8% for Hedron. 5,394 is the price. So that is kind of a good news there for the Hedron derivative. But you can see it's pretty much down the bottom. So it's very minute gain there. Let's go to log scale on that. Yeah, it's just up a little bit there, and that's giving us a little bit of a positive. Let's jump over to the stablecoins. Anything action here? We've got LUSD is up 2/3 of a percent. What else is looking? PDI is all the way down. It's down 1% at 4,200th or 4,300th of a penny. So we're still waiting for that PDI narrative to play out. LUSD, we looked at this in detail yesterday, and of course, it's actually looking pretty good. Now, the buy and burn is what we're really looking at. Apparently, the minting has been turned off, and so the supply is just getting burned off. And they're expecting, we've got 16 trillion in max supply, but they're expecting to burn off 10 trillion within 5 months. So we're watching that. And certainly, if you look at the holders here, we can see the burn now and the debt address is at 3.76%. So some pretty fun things happening there with that mark. So we're going to continue to watch that as well. So it's going to be an interesting one to see if LUSD can also, like PDI, get up to $1. Of course, run by different teams. So we'll see how that goes. Certainly speculative, right? But looking pretty cool. Let's see what else we got going. Let's go to the influencer coins. We can see that the only one that's up there is Randy Alaski's whale friend, Solid X. That's at 1.5% at $29.90. We got Paul Pleb there from Hexy Bastard. That's up, 4/10 of a penny almost at 502,000. That's pretty much it. Everything else is in the red at the moment. Let's have a look at some of these. Yeah, they're just all in the red at the moment. Let's have a quick look at Bestie token there. It's not on Pulsechain, it's on Solana, but that's from Fashion Coder. Let's see if that's actually doing any recovery. Not really, right? It made a bit of a little recovery. Just bleeding out a little bit at the moment. So we'll keep a little tab on that one. Get your Bestie today. Bestie today is certainly cheap to get your Bestie. Let's go to the Pulsechain charts as well and have a look at the overall views here before we get into PulseMafia. That's coming up in a minute. So let's have a look at the results. So we've got 12.5 million. We're in a weekday, of course. So that's pretty weak volumes, even for Pulsechain, what we've had recently. We were doing 25 to 40 million during the week. We've definitely come down from that at the moment with these low prices, low sentiment. That's the real key there. And, of course, 12.5 million total volume, 235,000 transactions at the moment. You can see even the best performers. I'm on the trending category for the last 6 hours, but even the best performers there. Let's go to 24 hours, see what's been, anything different there. You're going to get all these new little tokens. Every cat and dog out there is making a new token, so you get tons of tokens every day. We've got Mudkip there the last 24 hours, up 23,000%. Very low liquidity though, 2K and so forth. So let's have a look at 6 hours here, and we'll see what that looks like too. Yeah, you got BFF, Teddy Bear, up a couple of percentage points. Launchpad, that's the only utility here. That's up 2%. We've looked at SolidX already. So we've got a very small little gains across the board for a couple of these that are trending, but that's about it at the moment. So very, very quiet day here to kick it off on the Monday. That is pretty much it. We've got PulseX at the moment doing 10.2 million, so it's the bulk of that volume. 9-inch at the moment is doing 1 million. In fact, 9-inch has crossed over from 9mm. 9mm has been dominating 9-inch, but not today. 9-inch up there. 9mm at 835K, so that's pretty interesting as well. But of course, 9mm token had been really rallying quite strongly as the second strongest DEX. You can see the chart up there, but just taking a bit of profit there yesterday, the day that just finished. We just finished that day. So it got as high as 25 cents, now down at 21. Just taking a bit of a breather there. But that chart's pretty good considering how the sentiment of Pulsechain at the moment. So it is a buyer's market, of course, on the old Pulsechain. So that's pretty much it for that. We're going to get into the Mafia, though. So, yeah, we're going to get to the Mafia. Why not? Let's do the Mafia. Before we do that, though, let's get into the rest of the comments. We got Steve Wright from Santa Barbara in the house. Thank you, Superman. Your constant, intelligent approach, it helps all of us a lot. Hey, Steve, I appreciate that. Big shout out to you, too. Long-time supporter of Steve Wright, Santa Barbara, and I really do appreciate your comments every single time. What else we got going? Wookie says to Sandy Beach, still thinks you need to have a Wookie to chaperone you on your holiday. It pays to have some big and ugly fairy monster when you need one. That's pretty funny. Thank you, Wookie, but I'll be having a chaperone, says Sandy. Oh, really? Okay. Well, the drama starts. There's a no drama channel, but the drama's starting already. It wasn't me that started it. It was Sandy Beach. We got Check My Pulse as well. Good evening, y'all. Hey, Check My Pulse. Hope you're doing well. Team RH in the title there. I like that. We got Wookie as well. Says, bullion is up, which is a bit unusual with high interest rates and a record stock market. Yeah, well, it's game on. Game on, geopolitical. We've got a couple of wars in the world, if you haven't noticed, Wookie. We got the Ukraine-Russia one. We got the Israel-Hamas terrorist one. And, yeah, we got lots of other things. Houthis firing rockets at U.S. warships and all sorts of stuff. So, it's a pretty crazy place out there. Riots on the streets in the West and everything else. So, yeah, I guess it's that mixture is a perfect cocktail for all the assets and commodities. All right, let's get into it. Should we get to Mafia? Now, I've gotten the title of the video, PulseMafia is fun. It is fun. And the game's not going, the game's got all these, it's got 9 pre-launch phases, and in phase 10 is the game goes live, right? Which is basically people will start killing each other and doing crimes and all sorts of stuff in the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. It is the ultimate GameFi. And as I say, Pulsechain, like BNB, they need protocols that have the kind of killer apps, right? And of course, in the GameFi space, Jacob is really dominating on Pulsechain. And of course, he's doing incredible innovation, especially around peer-to-peer technology, leading the world on that. So really lucky to have someone of his world-class talent and his team that is executing these things. So pretty awesome there. All right, so let's get into that. Before we do, let's have a drink. Cheers, everybody. All right, let's get into that one. How are we doing? 37 minutes on the hour. Let's get into it. So Mafia here. This is on both PulseMafia is on Pulsechain. BNB Mafia is on BNB chain, of course. We'll be covering both of them. Pulsechain Mafia. This has only been going live for about 4 days now. So let's have a quick look at the chart, shall we? On the old PulseMafia. And what do we got here? Let's go to the let's go to the daily so we can see how many days we are. Are we in 4 days, or it's slightly more? Slightly more than that, is it? Well, I don't think there's a full day at the beginning, so we'll kind of ignore that a little bit. But 4 days, yeah, around 4 days. So we're around 4 days still. I think it's still 4 days. I mean, this chart sort of shows that's 6, but it's really, we only got parts of these days, right? That's just started, that new candle. It's just only just started. So we're about 4 days, and it's about now, right? So then now we're basically starting our 5th day right now. And we can see that the price is doing pretty well. I think the price is doing pretty well. You got to remember there's was it a 4 points? How much is the tax here? I just got to remember that. 4.7% buy tax and a 16.6% sell tax, which means that you need to have slippage of 5% and 20% respectively. That is in the chart. All those taxes go to feed the vault, and the vault at the moment on Pulsechain is 466.5 million pulse. Isn't that awesome? That's $21,687. That's just in 4 days. That's just in 4 days. That's crazy, cray. And of course, it's going to continue to go up. Now we know that this game is not going to launch until it reaches 5 billion pulse. Now let's repeat that again: 5 billion pulse. So that's about what is that? 20 times more than it is now. Is that right? Is that right? Or 10 times? No, 20 times. Must be 20 times more. 0.5 times 20. No, that's 10. So yeah, okay, 10 times more than where we are now. So that's pretty huge. So yeah, what's that? $200,000. That's going to be pretty crazy. Now that's going to attract a lot of attention. So you guys are all in here early, and that's why I'm covering it early as well. Well, you know, I also am in the syndicate family, so you know, also true. But pretty cool. So on the right, we got the tax man. He's taking in all those taxes, the buy and sell taxes. And then we got the vault here. Now, there's going to be other forms of tokenization and monetization in the game. So let's not forget that's going to be a marketplace. That is the next phase that's about to be launched. In any case, this is the vault here. So let's go to the players. I'm going to post the link to PulseMafia in the chat if you guys want to join up. If you want to find out more details and join the syndicate, hit us up in the Discord. It's the place to be. And we've got a private chat group there for the syndicate in there, as well as co-hosting on Telegram by Archie the Godfather. So that's the PulseMafia there. You can join up. Only need 2,000. You only need 2,000 Mafia tokens. It's about $1 something to create a player. That's how cheap it is. A really nice cheap entry, which is great for adoption. And of course, there are currently 287 players now, 10 crime families, and of course the vault fold up there with almost $22,000 there, 466 million pulse. And that's rising all the time. So pretty cool. You can see the top players at the moment here. The game has not yet started. We're in pre-launch phase, and we're ticking away through those phases. Let's quickly go to the game wiki, which is basically the game handbook. We can see that these are the launch phases. We're up to launch phase number 4. Next week, we're probably going to get the NFT marketplace. That's going to be a big deal. That's buying and selling. That's a real tokenomics there, in-game assets. And then we're going to get to the Mafia map after that, phase 6. Communications is number 7, marketing. And so you're here early before all the marketing happens. That's coming up phase 8 there. And number 9 is the vault requirements. And then finally, phase 10 is the official launch there. It's going to be a lot of fun to see that play out. So looking forward to that. Now, the families at the moment, they're already competing. So if you think the game, we've got pre-launch game, but this pre-launch game, right, is literally happening where the families are positioning themselves to be strong, already negotiating deals and wars and things like that. You know, it's all in there. It's crazy, recruiting people. It's all sorts of things are on. You wouldn't believe the amount of antics that are on now between these families, between the dons or godfathers of each family. It's some crazy stuff happening there. The repositioning of families is crazy. It's all on. The game hasn't even started yet, but the politics has already started. And of course, so there we go. So we got 10 families here on Pulsechain ticking away. So that's looking pretty good. And of course, the crates at the moment, the crates are the in-game assets. This is phase 4. You can buy a crate at the moment. It's 431,000 Pulse to buy a crate, 1 million PulseX to buy a crate, 8.42 incentive tokens to buy a crate, or $19.99 in eDai there. To buy a crate. So basically $20 to buy a crate using one of these tokens. And a crate, you open up a crate, it will give you one of these. You're going to get something along here. You're either going to get cash, you're going to get bullets, you're going to get health, and you're going to get or a shop item, or business, or bodyguards, or helper credits, or a car. Now, these are really, really sought after. Obviously, the businesses are really sought after because you can earn income in those games. There are only 49 businesses remaining, and a lot of the top ones have not even been found. So the slot markets, the roulettes, the bullet factories, they're still out there. Yeah, everyone's after those. So your probability of winning one of those now is even higher than it was before. So it's $20 well spent. If you get one of those factories, you're going to laugh yourself silly. And remember, the next phase to be launched is the marketplace. Maybe launching is next week. So some people might spend $20 and sell a business for, I don't know, $500. I don't know. It's going to be crazy, folks. So there's going to be a lot of cool opportunities within the game. It's just part of that. Now, a lot of these things are very valuable. Money, obviously, in-game cash is valuable. Bullets are valuable if you want to kill somebody. It's not going to be cheap to kill people. It takes a lot of things to do that. Bullets will be important there. Health is going to be super important. If you get hit, you're going to want some health, and that's very worth a lot. These health are worth a lot. It's not cheap there. Shop items all the way from guns. You're obviously going to need some guns if you're going to kill people. They've got handguns, Remingtons, Thompsons. They've got a few more powerful weapons too. They've got Molotov cocktails, grenades. They've got motorcycles, a bulletproof vest, and a bulletproof suit. These suits are really, really good looking. They look so good. And then, of course, if you're going to go for the heavyweight, if you're like a don of a family or something like that, they've got armored cars. You're going to need an armored cars. It's going to be pretty cool. And, of course, your very own plane, if you're lucky. There can't be too many of these around, but a Douglas M3 plane, that's going to be pretty sought after as well. The bullets, of course, the business, of course, car crushers all the way through to bullet factories. And, of course, everyone's after those top three there, the slot machines, roulettes, and bullet factories, but they're all very, very valuable. And then, of course, bodyguards. You want to have some high-level bodyguards to protect you, especially if you're in the family hierarchy. Helper credits. Now, obviously, you're going to be able to have multiple players, and you can automate those players with helper credits. So helper credits going to be very important. That means that your player can do crimes every day. You don't have to actually do it. It's going to autopilot and build up your position of your players. And then, of course, cars. You need cars to transport between cities and other things like that. So cars are pretty valuable. And, of course, the top of the range car there, 500,000. It's a gold car. And we know somebody in the Discord that has one of those gold cars. So they're very lucky to get that. And yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. All right, so that is on the PulseMafia at the moment. Like I say, you can buy PulseMafia at the moment. I'll post the link into the Pulsechain price. We're gonna have a quick look at the BNB side as well. But let's get into any more comments we've got about this. So that is the chart there for Mafia. Now it's you're in early, so big opportunity to get that. Remember, put your slippage at 5% on the buy. Just because you got the 4.7% tax that all goes into the vault, feeds into the game. So there we go. Now, joining a family is going to be really, really important. There's lots of pros and cons to each different family. The syndicate has 100,000 Mafia entry fee, but you do get to share in the profits of the game. So it's a really, really important thing there. Let's see what else we got. We've got some more comments about this. Let's see here. Where we go back up? How far back up do I have to go before we get some comments here? Let's go back to this side here. That's probably let's go back to the families. Kind of cool being on the family page. Families. Let's go crates. Let's just go crates. How about crates there? Let's see what else we got going. Jump up to here. Wookie says, "Oh, bullets." Yeah, Wookie likes the bullets. He's trying to accumulate a lot of bullets himself. He's a capo, so capos do get bullets with their capo team. Matt and Barley's announced their good morning all and good evening to some. Kia ora to Superman. Hey, Matt, hope you're doing well. Always a pleasure to hear from Matt. What else are we going to say? Wookie says, only Wookie would bring a knife to a gunfight. Yeah, only you would do that. But then you're pretty huge, right? So you could probably take a few bullets. Probably one thing before you got taken down. Let's see. Archie says, the syndicate is number one on both chains. It is indeed. So Actually, if we go to the families, you can see the Syndicate's the number 1 family. Gearhead's the number 2. The Salamanca's are number 3 on Pulsechain. The Yakuzas have come out of nowhere. They're at number 4. And the Original Gangsters are at number 5 there. And they're big, of course, on the BNB chain. We're going to see that in a minute. But you can see at the moment 10% of this vault. So this vault every week, once we reach the game goes live, when this vault reaches 5 billion pulse, 10% every week is going to go to the top 5 families. And at the moment, the top family gets 30% of the payout. Second family gets 25% of the payout. The third family gets 20% of the payout. The second family gets 15% of the payout. And the bottom family gets 10% of the payout there. That is given out at the moment every single week, 10% of that vault. So it could be a huge income earner. And of course, every family has their own rules. So entry, if they have an entry fee or not, whether they share their profits or not. So it's going to be lots of interesting things happening there. The Syndicate, we're trying to be very, very fair in our disburses of rewards. And of course, pretty much dominating on the old Pulse chain at number 1 at the moment, PulseMafia. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Now we're going to jump over to BNB chain. Before we do that, let's get them a few more comments there. Archie says, "Who dare speaks my name without fear with their heart?" Says Archie. Yeah, Archie is the Don or the Godfather, the Capone. You can see him here, right here, and he is feared not only by his enemies and other mafia families, but also by the members in the syndicate. I can tell you that firsthand. Matt in Valley says, "Thanks, Wookie. Going okay, man. Raiders not doing the best though. Warriors on fire. Yeah, apart from last week. Yeah, absolutely." Let's see what else we got going in there. We got we got PulsePat in the house there. Woohoo! We got PulsePot. So we got Jacob and the official developers of Mafia in the house today. Big shout out to Jacob. Keep up the great work with your team. Really do appreciate it. A big shout out there. We got the royalty in the house. It's kind of cool. All right, so we got Archie in the house says, let me go to the comments here. Actually, I'll put it in there. Archie, that is the recruitment for the syndicate. So if you want to join the syndicate family, get in there, folks. There is an application process, but get in there now. And of course, get in early. We're still early on this game, remember? So tell your friends as well. Bring some new friends into crypto. It's a great way of onboarding on the Pulse chain just by playing a game and potential chance of earning some nice crypto on the way. As long as you don't get killed. You don't want to get killed in the game because you can lose your assets. So just remember that. At least some of your assets, let's say. Yes, man. True, says Matt. Up the mighty knights, says Brennan. Up the mighty knights. But that's a big ask. That's a big ask, Brennan. Anyway, let's go to, let me just sign on here because we might have some magical crates up here. So let's go check that out before we go to BNB chain and check out how the results are over there, because some of these families are competing on both chains, some of them are not. So we'll check that out. Let me just connect on here and see what things are looking like. Bam. All right, so let's go down here and check out these crates. So where we do 50 minutes on the hour, we're doing really good time. So I think we're doing pretty well here. Now we're also going to be talking about another project of Jacob's, which is Pulse Predict. That's coming up as well. So I tell you, Jacob is dominating the GameFi on Pulse chain, but not only that, but he's dominating peer-to-peer gamification, decentralized in the world. So this is how good of a team Jacob's team is. So this is lucky on Pulse chain. You're going to find this on anywhere else. So it's kind of cool. All right, so you can see if you buy a crate, now crates are $20. You can use any PulseX incentive tokens to buy those $20 as well. Now, if you had OG NFTs, you would have got them airdropped for those. If you'd been in TYRH and you had an OG NFT, you would have got airdropped that already. So you'd have some free ones. But if you want to buy them and get them in today, all the funds that you use ends up going back into the game in some form or the other. Remember that. So it's kind of positive that way, positive cycle. Now, I've got a few crates in here. So thanks very much to the PulseBot team. I guess if you've got, I don't know, am I going to giving some of these away? Let me know if you've got a player's name in the. I'm going to give probably one or two of these away. If you've got a player's name in the Mafia, let us know in the chat there, and I'm going to probably try and randomize the one depending on who's entering. Get in there with your player's name if you want to get a chance to win a crate. I think that's a good one. I'm going to open quite a few crates, but let us know. And if you've got a player, then yeah. And I'm going to be kind of arbitrary with that. So get in there, folks, and you could win a free crate. That's $20 a crate. So you're getting $20 of value, and it may end up being, if it's a big item that you get in that crate, you may end up making a lot of money. It could be hundreds of dollars if it trades in the marketplace. So yeah, get in there. This is part of the fun of the game. It's going to be huge. I think a lot of people are going to like it. So let's get into it. Now we're going to open up a crate here. It's on Pulsechain. Remember, Pulsechain is super cheap, so it's not going to cost you hardly anything in the fees. There's a couple of transactions to make, of course, but yeah, it's going to cost you next to nothing to do it on Pulsechain. You got to love it. GameFi is really going to flourish on Pulsechain. That's the place to be, and of course, Mafia is making a big impact on that. So let's see how we go here. Opening up one of these. Waiting for the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world. So let's get into get your player's name in the chat there. I don't see no player's names. So if you got a player's name, you want to get a free crate, it's $20. Let us know. It's just the way it goes. If you don't want it, I'm going to open it. So yeah, get in there, folks. Maybe you haven't got a player's name. Get one in. Go to PulseMafia.io. The link's in the chat there. And, of course, make a player's name. Buy 2,000 Mafia at minimum. And you can get yourself a player's name and get a free crate there. Once you get a name, you got to make up your own name and you'll get an avatar. I think there's up to 1,200 avatars that you can win it from. Here we go. Here's the first one. Here we go. I love this animation. It's fantastic. What are we going to get? Are we going to be super lucky or just lucky? That's kind of the options there. Super lucky or just lucky. Are we going to get a car? Oh, we're going to get a car. I think that's pretty lucky to start off with. So let's go. Are we going to get that golden car? I don't know how many golden cars there are. There can't be too many. But that's that 500,000 golden car. The 450 is pretty good as well. But anyway, let's see. Oh, that's really good. So we did well there, folks. A $250,000 car. And that's a really nice model. And, of course, perfect for me and my mates with our Thompson guns to go shoot up some enemy mafias, maybe like the OGs or something like that, or the Mugnails. We're going to be chasing them down. All right, so that's kind of cool on that one. That is looking good. Get your player's name in, folks. Get your player's name in there. I'm going to kind of choose one there. So, yeah, it's going to be good. All right, let's open up another one here as well. Let's open another one, see what else we get. So you can sort of see that is one of the cars. So if we go to the right here, it's one of the cars here. We won that $250,000 car. So you do have an idea. It'd be cool if they had the little pictures on here too, though. But of course, there's only so much space on there. But it'd be kind of cool. We're going to see the pictures as well. I guess the NFT marketplace is going to have the pictures. So I'm looking forward to that. That's coming up probably next week is my guess. This is our guess, and obviously don't know anything from the team about that. But we're excited about the marketplace. But of course, we're in phase 4. You got to have all the assets out to get trading, right? So I think there's still quite a few left to go. So we'll see how we get on. Here we are, just waiting for the chain to run through. Let's see what comments we've got in the chat about that. Oh, I've got another confirmation to make. Actually, we'll just do the second crate, and then we'll have a look at what people are saying in the chat. 55 minutes on the hour, doing pretty well. All right. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. We're covering some of the best stuff on Pulsechain. We're doing all the research for you, so you don't have to do it. Not another car. No way. Oh, 2 cars in a row. 2 cars in a row. What's the chances? I don't know. 2 cars in a row. That's insane. Man, cars are such a good asset to have. You got to travel from town to town and country to country, but you probably need some airplanes for that, I'm guessing. $75,000 car, a nice little red one. Yep, beautiful. We go beat up that on a date night. That's a date night car, that one. There we go. Big seats on those cars. All right, so that's cool. We're going to open up another one soon, but let's see who else has jumped in here with the comments. Big shout out to PulsePop for the small crate donations. Big shout out. We're paying it forward with a bit of that love there. So get your player's name into the chat there if you're playing. Now, if you haven't got a player, all you have to do is go to PulseMafia. So that's PulseMafia if you're on Pulsechain, bnbmafia.io if you're on BNB chain, or you can set up players on both chains, and you can buy crates and get in-game assets that will be required when the game goes live. Where the game's going live on phase number 10 in the future. And of course, that's when BNB Vault gets to 500 BNB. And of course, when Pulsechain gets to 5 billion Pulse. So those are the triggers. But once again, we're still in the launch phase there, building up the amount of players. amount of people that are there. So it's going to be quite big by the time we get to the live game and really go viral. So looking good there. You're nice and early. What else there? Let's jump through some of those comments. That is the chart there. If you want to pick up some PulseMafia or Mafia on Pulsechain, and you only need 2,000 to get a player, it's about $1 something, $1.15 maybe, something like that. Let's see what else. If you want to join the syndicate, that's the #1 family at the moment. That's the one we're co-hosting with Archie. He's the godfather. That is the link to that now. What else is going on here? We've got Charity Dunning in the house. Hey, Charity. Hope you're doing well. Hi, all. Big shout out from Charity. Crypto Fury as well. See you, Pazin. What's that? La Familiga y Tutu. How did I do? Hopefully I did okay with that. I don't know what language that is, but there we go. You man, I was coming back, but when they ran away from there, fortunate likely to see the storm. I was talking about the league. We got a couple of league players in the chat there. They love the league. Archie says Bullet Factory. Yeah, well, I'm hoping to open up a Bullet Factory. That'd be dreamy. Bullet Factory, folks, is the top one. So you can see the top one there. I don't think anyone's got one yet, as far as we know. I don't think anyone's got one. I don't think anyone's got a roulette or a slot machine, as far as I can tell. At least not in the families. Maybe they've got someone as an individual's got one, but I haven't seen those yet. What else there? Brennan's got his name in. Face of Powder, Wookie the Blade's got his name in. Fantastic. Let's see what else has got. Anyone else got their name in? Archie says you'll be eligible for a fleet discount on your car insurance. Yeah, there's a couple of cars there right now. That's pretty crazy. Crypto Furia, see you, boss, and my greetings to the family. Oh, nice one. Thank you so much, Crypto Furia, and greetings to you as well. What else there? Archie says Furia is a new member to the syndicate. Oh, well, welcome, Crypto Furia, to the syndicate. Big shout out, #1 family, of course. Let's open up another one here, and then we're going to break to go to BNB chain to see how we're going over there as well. All you have to do is swap chains, is go up to the right, and you can click to the BNB chain, the Pulse chain. Very easy to do, and it will just swap between the sites as well. If you want to start a player, you just go to Players, Get Started, and you can set up your own name. And with a different wallet, you can have as many wallets as you want. If you do get killed in the game, then that wallet will be dead in the game. So just remember that. So you want to probably have a couple of players. 2,000 Mafia each. Every family has different rules to get in. Obviously, the syndicate is 100,000 Mafia, so you would need to buy that too to participate. And of course, you will share in the syndicate. You do get to share the profits, based on effort and other things like that. That's being developed. So kind of cool. All right, let's go to these crates and open up the crates. Crates is the current phase. So this is phase 4 of 10. And of course, getting in-game assets is critical to actually being able to play, right? So you need guns, you need bullets, you need cars, you need all that sort of stuff to play, and you'll be able to buy and sell it and trade it and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of opportunities in the game. Let's open up another crate #3. So let's open that up as well. Get your player's name. If you're playing in Mafia, get in there. You've got a chance of winning a free crate that's $20 of value, which it could end up being worth hundreds of dollars of value, particularly if you get a top-end item. We're trying to obviously do the best we can. Everything in the game that you get through the crates will be valuable to you in the game. They are all in-game assets, so they're all going to have purpose there, including heart. Heart, actually, or health, I should say, is very valuable in the game. So if you get some health, consider yourself lucky there, particularly if you get shot up. You realize, oh my God, I need some heart. My car's not having expensive cars isn't going to help you if you're being shot up a bit. Maybe if you had an armored car, you might have not got shot up at all, but it's the way it goes. All right, so we're going to get into that original gangster. Woohoo! I just say it's called original gangster NFTs. Surely they don't own the NFT business because that's not so hot. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to open this up. There's 2 transactions, obviously subject to the blockchain ticking over there. What happened to our 10-second block times? Is that pretty much on? Here we go. Crate #3. Let's see what we get. We've had 2 cars in a row. Would it be hilarious if we got 3? I don't know what the statistically chance of that happening is. Business! Oh! We were so close to a business. Oh my goodness, that would have been crazy. Anyway, we've got a very good category. If we get something cool in here, I'll be very happy. Anything in here is very, very good. We got guns in here. We got grenades. We got bulletproof vests. Molotov cocktails are very cool. I don't have one of those. So there we go. That's in there as well at the moment. Not bad at all. Oh, very cool. Now we're going to swap over to BNB. Get your player's name in the chat there, folks. And I will double check the player's name actually exists. So make sure you get a real one in there. If you're new to it, get in there, folks, with your player's name. You get a chance to win a free crate, $20 worth of value. Let's jump over to the BNB chain, see how that's going. So they're different. Now, there's more. This has been around for several weeks now, right? So if we go to the Mafia over here, so this is BNB Mafia. I'm going to post the link to this. You can access it directly, so on BNB. But like I say, we've got PulseMafia.io on Pulsechain. We've got BNB Mafia.io on BNB chain, but you can just switch between the two or just take you to a different website. So that is it there. Now, we've got the chart at the moment. So if you want to buy in BNB, you can see the chart looks very different. It's been around for weeks, a couple of weeks now, since the 23rd of May. And of course, the price entry on BNB is very friendly. Look at that price. It is so friendly. Yeah, good entry price on BNB. And that is probably going to get snatched up soon. So, you do your due diligence, not investment advice, but man, that chart's pretty good entry to get in there. Remember, there's a 4.7% buy tax, 5% slippage, but it goes into the vault. And at the moment, you can get very, very friendly price here on the old BNB chain. And the market cap sitting, $403,000 market cap on BNB, whereas the market cap on Pulsechain is 442. So there's $40,000 difference there, but plenty of upside here on the old Mafia there. Well, see that yellow line? That's the sacrifice price, so it's well below that. So huge upside. It seems like a no-brainer here on the BNB Mafia right now. Pretty crazy. So that is it. So you can buy that today. That's going to be on PancakeSwap. Remember, 5% slippage to buy that up. Tell your friends and get involved. That's all I can say. Now, we got the players here at the moment. We got 791 players. 15 crime families. So there's 5 more crime families on BNB Mafia than there is on Pulsechain, because it's been around for several weeks, as opposed to 4 days or so for PulseMafia. So we're probably going to see more crime families on PulseMafia. Now, to set up your own crime family, you need 500 Mafia tokens. 500,000. Sorry, Mafia tokens. I said 500, but it's really 500,000 Mafia tokens here. And of course, at the moment, we've got 91 BNB in the vault. So that vault is looking super juicy on the Mafia there. $54,000, almost $55,000 worth of a BNB. Now, obviously, if BNB doubles in price, that is over $100,000 right there. Just with BNB, that's $110,000. But the game will not start until 500 BNB. So that is huge, right? We're talking about $300,000 to $600,000 could be in there by the time the game starts, depending on the price of BNB. And that's crazy. Probably 300,000 on the current price, right? So it's pretty insane. 10% of that every week is going to go to the top 5 families. At the moment, the top 5 families are the Syndicate, number 1. They will get 30%. And as you guys know, we're co-hosting that with Archie. He's our godfather in there. And of course, you can join up with the link that he provided in the chat there. The Original Gangsters, these guys are aggressive. They are very open. Every family has different entry rules, different operation rules, things like that. The Original Gangsters, they're in there at the moment. They're fighting for the Syndicate for number 1 spot. They're currently getting 25% payout. The Mugnows are also pretty good. They're a bit more of a peaceful team, but they're out there at the moment. Dogmanaos, and they're currently getting 20% of that 10% weekly payout from the vault. The Yakuza, here we go. The Yakuza wasn't on the Pulsechain side, but now that's risen through the ranks as well on the Pulsechain, and that there is at number 4. And that's going to be getting 15%. And then, of course, the Illuminati. These globalist gangsters, the Illuminati, they're at number 5 there. And, of course, they're getting 10% of the weekly payout of the 10%. So there we go. We've got other teams, though. Cosa Nostra is in there. The Peaky Blinders, the High Table there, the Cartel, the OG Escobars, the Los Salvajes, the OG Sopranos, the Mafia Group, the Untouchables, and the twisted name here. What a twisted use of this name. The Salvation Army. That is twisted. What a twisted name that is. They do such a good job in the community. And here we go, getting them used as a mafia name. How about that? That's badass. So there we go. So, yeah, we got lots of players, 791 players, families in the house, 15 families. And, of course, the vault there looking pretty juicy on the BNB. So if we add those numbers up, I think we're sitting at about, what's that? Let me just get a calculator just to be lazy. If we add up both BNB and Pulsechain, we got 55 plus 20, let's say 22. So we're sitting at $77,000 already captured between PulseMafia and BNB Mafia, $77,000, and we're just warming up. It's just warming up. So you can see this is once we start hitting over those six-figure numbers, it's going to grab a lot of attention out there. And you guys are all here early at the moment. And so I think these prices are pretty friendly right now, right? Pretty friendly prices to get into. So definitely worth checking that out. Now, is it a game? And of course, we're going to have fun with the game, but there's also a chance of earning some good money, especially if you're a good player and you're in a good family. Then, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so, yeah, we've covered everything there. We've obviously got crates as well. I don't know if I'm connected on the side. Let's go connect on this side for the BNB. I have to swap the chain as well. So you have to swap the chain over to your wallet to be a BSC or BNB chain, and you can get on that. Not sure if I've got any crates on this one. No, I haven't. So that is it on there. What else are we going to say about this? Yeah, slippage is the same. Buy and sell tax is the same on BNB Mafia. It's got a different contract, though, I think. So you have to check the contract. I think there's a different one, 411. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go back to Pulsechain. What else was I going to say? Was that it? I think it was, yeah. Cool. Let's go back to Pulsechain, and we're going to open up a few more crates there, just swapping it over in the wallet. Bam. All right, so there we go. We go back to crates. Crates is where we're at the moment. NFT marketplace will be the next big phase. That's phase number 5. And, of course, that's going to happen on both PulseMafia and BNB Mafia. So lots of fun there. I've still got quite a few 6 crates here. And we're going to get into that. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We've got a couple more comments. How are we doing? An hour and 8 minutes on the hour. So we're doing pretty well. We're going to wrap up in a couple of minutes, though. Probably max out at 1 hour 15. It gives us about another 7 minutes or so. Plane. No, actually, I didn't get a plane, unfortunately. That would have been cool. I would be like to fly, given that I am a concierge, which is a pretty high rank. I, would like to get a plane. I don't know. It's something about that. I sound like a globalist. I sound like a globalist now, don't I? Oppress the people and fly my plane. Something like that. Thank you, Hex Token, everybody. Have a good night. You too, Sandy Beach. All the best. We got Wookie Scott, Hillary Reaper out as the name. Nice one. And was it Donnell Jabronx there? Wookie's putting in all his names. We got Archie in house there. The OG's main competence is getting wrecked by the syndicate. They are ranked number 1 at that. Yes, indeed. There's going to be a huge fight between some of the top teams. And, of course, the OG's is right in there for the mix there, particularly on the BNB chain. But here on Pulsechain, what have we got at the moment? Pulsechain, we've got the Gearheads. Now, this is apparently crypto. Crypto Kool-Aid, which is a super well-known big influencer and software developer, game developer in the game. He's got number 2 there. But we've also got other influencers in here as well. We've got Hustlers. Hustlers is Lit Games, or My Life is Awesome, if you guys know him. He's added a few more members overnight. He was down at 6 yesterday and is up at 9 at the moment. So he's still increasing. And the other one, we've got another influencer, which is on the BNB side, is Crypto Pride. So there is a number of influencers. We've also seen more influencers covering it as well. We've seen Corey Costa had an interview with Jacob. We saw Lit Gaines have an interview with Jacob, the founder of Mafia. And, yeah, there's probably going to be more ahead of us as well. Who knows who they'll be. I've got a couple of names that could potential, but that's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, let's open up one more crate today before we move on to the next topic, which is Pulse Predict. So we don't want to miss out on that one. Let's open up one more crate here. Send 1 or 2 people there with their players' names a crate. We will see. All right. Let's open this one more. Come on, business. Yeah, let's see where we're going to go there with the business. Are we going to get a business one there? We shall see. We shall see. Come on now. We shall see. All right, we're going to close down some of these charts here. We're going to get into Pulse Predict as well. That's a pretty important one to update. So that's another one of Jacob's sports betting and price prediction websites. You can actually earn free tokens over there, Predict tokens, and that token's going to go live soon. So we're going to cover that too. All right, just had to do another confirmation. And so let's get ready. I think we're just about there, folks, for crate number 3, is it? I think it is. Or was it crate number 4? No, 3, I think it is. All right, so let's go here. Woo! Wish us luck, folks. What are we going to get? What are we going to get? Business. All right, come on. Oh, we're going to get a hitman. No, a bodyguard. This is a bodyguard. We want a high-end bodyguard. I'll tell you that much. I want a Frank. That's for sure. I want a Frank. Give me a Frank. A level 10 Frank, a level 10 Sammy. I'll go level 5 Johnny. That will do. I'll take a level 5 Johnny. It's going to be important. You know, as a constantly edge, I'm going to need some good protection. I'm pretty happy about that. That's pretty good. All right, how many crates we got left? We got 5 there. Yeah, we're going to leave a couple for tomorrow. So we'll be playing that again tomorrow as well. And of course, if you haven't got a player yet, come back, get yourself a player. And of course, if you want to join a family, you can join a family. It doesn't have to be the syndicate, but the syndicate is we are co-hosting it, so you can get that. And the other thing is, if you want to buy some crates, they're $20 a crate. You can use Pulse X Incentive or eDie. The other thing, of course, is come back tomorrow, and I will be giving away some crates there. They're $20 of value each. So if you get your player in now, you can come back tomorrow and let us know the player. That's kind of the way it's going to work there. All right, now the other big thing that's happening is the Predict. This is another project of Jacob's on Pulsechain. We've got sports events, which are huge. A lot of people are playing these. We've got the Euro 2024 on at the moment, but upcoming is also the Tour de France. We've got the Paris 2024, and the big one I'm looking forward to, which I'm not sure when that is. Yeah, I think it's been delayed to November, but that is November there. That's going to be Mike Tyson versus Dana White. No, I'm just kidding. What's his name? Paul something. I've forgotten his name. His brothers, one of the brothers. What's the guy's name? I'm just going to remember. What's that guy's name? Jake Paul. Is it? Jake Paul. Yeah, Jake Paul. And of course, yeah, I'm looking forward to Jake Paul getting absolutely demolished by Mike Tyson. Hopefully his health will hold up. But yeah, from a fighting point of view, it's a no-brainer. Jake Paul's going to absolutely get smashed. But anyway, you're going to be able to bet on that. But yeah, I went back and I watched a couple of Jake Paul's actual fights, and I saw how bad his opponents were and how bad he was. And then I realized that Mike Tyson was really going to absolutely destroy him, even at the age of whatever he is, 58 or wherever he is. So there we go. All right, so that's pretty much coming up on the sports betting. Now, there's price predictions as well. You can price predict on all sorts of tokens like Pulsechain, everything else. You can actually create your own bets as well, and other people can take them. But the cool thing is that you can get the moment, you can claim free tokens. Now, there are 4 different ways of doing that. There's only 7 days and 22 hours to go for Pulse Predict. So it's very important that you get in early on that. And of course, 4 ways. You either sacrifice for one of Jacob's projects, PUSD Algo, which is one I've recently been talking about, obviously Pulse, TRH, or TYCZ, which are both now the Mafia games, right? And of course, any of those sacrifices you could have gotten, you'll be able to participate in that. The activity, if you're doing activity on here, which is basically this earn tab, you're doing stuff on earn, you'll be able to earn stuff, and that means doing price prediction, sports betting, and doing the earn. If you're doing any of these 3, you'll be earning some activity. If you're staking TRH, I'm not sure how this is going, but if you're staking TRH, you're earning. But PulsePot, I should say. If you're staking PulsePot, you'll be able to earn there as well. 500 predict tokens per PulsePot. So that's a pretty big deal there. Apparently, example, 500 PulsePot for 90 days is going to get 1.5 million predict tokens. And then NFTs, if you've got any of the NFTs, apparently they do as well. I think it's TRH ones, though. So I'm not sure how that's playing out either. So there we go. In any case, on the earn side, you can earn tokens. And, of course, there's a whole ton of tasks you can do. Some of them are free. Some of them are free tasks. Some of them are betting tasks. And, of course, following profiles, setting up profiles. There's a whole ton of them there you can see. Pretty cool. You can earn predict tokens. And if you get on the leaderboard, you're going to earn, there's automatically every day, there's predict tokens allocated every day. And of course, you can see if you're in the top 50, you're going to get some free tokens regardless. But there are hundreds of players playing. There's 4,116, and an extra reward drop is in 15 hours. So that's coming up as well. So I'm going to leave the link to Pulse Predict. That is going to be launching in about 8 days. So it's a pretty big deal. Get in on that. Check it out. And if it's something you like, get involved, because that's going to be trading soon. The old Predict token will probably get launched, as my guess, at the end of this timer, which is in 7 days and 20 hours. So another exciting project from Jacob coming up soon. You don't want to miss the opportunities for that. And like I say, some of the earn things are actually free, just setting up profiles and following people and following tokens and stuff like that. And then there's lots of betting ones that will earn you extra points. You can see these are the amount of predict tokens you'll be earning. I think we have the total supply. What's the total supply here? There is 1.5 billion in total supply at the moment, with about 8 days to go. You can see the leaderboard here at the top. Golf Nut seems to be the top one there at the moment. He's got 12.2 million. So there we go. That is it. Get in on that one. I don't want you guys to miss out on the opportunity. Can't say that I didn't show you the opportunity of a lifetime. All right, let's move on. What else there? Super, if you get a bullet factory, I might have a heart attack. Yeah, me too. Me too. Johnny has connections. Yeah, it's always good to have bodyguards with connections. Some of the bodyguards have connections. They're very good at connecting. Some are good at defense. Some are good at offense. So there's different types of things there with the bodyguards. Brendan says Tyson will take a 0 off. Yeah, that's true. Let's see what else we got going on here. That's it. Yeah, so check out the Predict sports betting and price prediction site. That token is going live in about 8 days from the looks of it. We will still see, give or take, obviously subject to Jacob's, clicking the link there, but that's the countdown. All right, that leads us to Hex, which is the final topic. We're in hour and 17, so I'm a little bit over normal, but let's go through the day 16:59. Let's see what the payout was today. 7.324 Hex per T-share. Hex.com, check it out. It's in the video description. And, of course, there we go. What's happened to the T-shares? T-shares down 14,091. Woo-hoo! Amazing. We're down to 9 million T-shares in the ownership pool. Remember, at the all-time high, this was at 11.2 million. So we're down 2.2 million T-shares over this time, over 4.5 years. It's now down 9 million, far out, and with some big decreases there. Let's see what else is going on there. The reward pool. Penalties are $1 million today, so pretty not bad. Just under 66 million in the reward pool going to all those T-share holders that we just talked about. Liquid holders up 10. Miners down 18. We're sitting 170,568 miners on the old Hex on Ethereum. We don't have Pulsechain's data out today. It's going to come out in the next half an hour or so. But we have yesterday's number or the previous day, and that was 6.997 Hex per T-share. What happened to the T-shares? Not the same thing that's happening on Ethereum. Very modest. We had that big one on Ethereum, but no, we only got 6.5, which is still a lot. We're sitting at 9,369,000 T-shares there. So what's that about? About 370,000 T-shares difference on this chain, on the Pulsechain one. Let's go to the penalties. We've had huge penalties on Pulsechain. Look at all these penalties. But today, pretty modest, or yesterday, pretty modest, 444,000. Sitting at 65.5 million in there. Liquid holders up 38. Miners down 4, 123,728. So about between 3.5 and 4,000 more miners on Pulsechain there. That is Pulsechain Hex. Hex.com, man. Check it out. Links in the video description. You can mine Hex today on Ethereum and Pulsechain. Pulsechain being the Magic Outride chain, of course. There we go. Look at these prices to get T-shares at the moment. Super cheap. Plus longer pays better and bigger pays better. You're going to get even more. So kind of cool. Even cheaper. All right. I think that's it. Man, what a show today. We've had record stock markets. We talked about that. We've got crypto doing well. We've got Ruins Protocol and Bitcoin Dog. We've got Pulsechain updates galore. We've covered everything that's happening on there. And, of course, we've covered PulseMafia. Got to be the biggest thing at the moment on Pulsechain and probably likely to be huge going forward into the bull market. And you guys are all here early. I told you guys early about Runes last year. Remember that? And some of you would have made $10,000 on that one. And now I'm telling you about PulseMafia on BNB and Pulsechain. So go for the win there. And, of course, we are waiting patiently for the magic outright on Pulsechain. The markets look like they're getting primed for the crypto rally. The big one, the one we've already had the opening round since October. And now we're looking for that big hyper rally. So it does feel like it's getting very close, but historically and empirically, it is getting exciting here. All right, let's play out some cool stuff here on the way out. Actually, let's just play our cool video here. We're going to stay with the Mafia theme today. I hope you guys enjoy it. Take care, everybody. Archie, the Don of the syndicate, says, great one, super. I appreciate that, Archie. Big shout out to you. All right, take care and bye for now. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, get into the comments, get into the Discord, all those good things, and we'll talk to you more there. All right, bye for now.